We have no sound from you, Tawana.
No.
Is there a mute button on your headset?
Thank you so much for your patience. We're having some technical excitement, and so we're just going to give Tawana Hodge just a moment to make an adjustment. This has been a wonderful, wonderful second day of our conference. We talked to some amazing speakers. I sat in on some amazing programs. A couple of them I'm going to have to go back and replay because I couldn't take down all the notes quickly enough. So that's a wonderful problem to have.
It sure is.
Thank you for those hearts. Thank you so much for everyone who's in the session. Tawana, do you want to try your mic now?
Okay, I'm just going to start and we'll go back to
Thank you.
Tawana. So thank you, Nichelle, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to our meeting and awards happening all this evening. Are you having a great time? Please put in the chat your highlights so far, and it's only day 2. I mean, I have too many to list, but I'm going to let you know Nikki Giovanni is at the top. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I just want to take a few moments to give everyone an update on what I will be working on with the executive board and all of you this year. So BCALA's strategic plan is the top priority. Again, we have to be intentional in our work. So everyone be on the lookout for upcoming town halls so we can have the members' input for the caucus. Next, I will continue to do virtual library school visits and career fairs. Thank you to all the schools that have already had me come visit. It has truly been a delightful experience, and I just love doing it. And then lastly, I just need to thank all of you. BCALA is continuing to lead out loud, and it's because of all of our members. This organization's mission is to serve as an advocate for the development, promotion, and improvement of library services and resources to the nation's African American community. It is what drives our work and why we have this conference. We support and provide leadership for the recruitment and professional development of African American librarians and staff because we want all library staff to be treated with respect and dignity. This is the goal. We are looking to hold people and institutions accountable. So if folks don't know, now they know. So if you are BCALA proud, put it in the chat. I'm going to say it loud. I'm BCALA proud. And I will now turn it over to Tawana. Are you ready? No, she's not ready yet. I'm going to hand it over back to Nichelle. Yes, BCALA proud.
Yes, that is so exciting. Thank you so much for that charge for us to move forward. We are so excited about the things that we're going to be working on today. I think what we're going to do right now, if Rudolph Clay is ready, he is going to give us the overview of BCLA membership. And then after that, if Tawana, if her mics are working okay, we will switch back to Tawana Hodge. Rudy,
All
take
right.
it away.
Yes, thank you, Vice President Nichelle Hayes. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a great conference. It's been wonderful, all the things I've been able to attend to, and I'm glad that some of these are being recorded so I can go back. But let me tell you a little bit about membership. It's been an amazing year for membership. We have a total of 928 members, and thanks to many of you who have been sponsoring those new members. And our president, Shante Burns-Simpson, just mentioned those library school visits that she does. I can always tell when she's where she's been because there will be a flurry of emails of new students joining, so I can track around the country where she has spoken. And many of you actually have sponsored students. Remember that the exec board voted to eliminate the cost of student membership for the year of 2021, and also to reduce the membership cost for library support staff from $20 to $10 for the year 2021. And this is really important, especially the support staff, because currently, I had mentioned that we have 928 members. We only about 4%, about 38, a little bit under 40 of those members are actually support staff. So this is a great opportunity to bring more support staff into the organization. So if there are support staff at your institution that are not BCLA members, this would be a good time for you to let them know that it's only $10 through for 2021. That would be for a full year. Or if you would want to sponsor one of your support staff members, that would be great also. So again, information about any of this, you can go to our membership page on the BCLA website. If you would like to sponsor a member, you could just email info@BCALA. It's just another one or two little adjustments we have to make, but we would reach out to you and make those adjustments so that you could sponsor either a support staff member or any member. So of those 928, we also have 7 active BCA affiliates. So we have affiliates in Colorado, in Connecticut, in Georgia, in Indiana, in Pennsylvania, in St. Louis, of course, St. Louis, and in Virginia. And they just come up in the conference. People have asked about that because they were interested in perhaps starting an affiliate in their geographic area. So if you're interested in that, again, you could just send an email to info@bcala.org. And Andrew Jackson, Sandra Michelle Eccles, and I, we co-chair the membership and affiliate committee. So we would be glad to work with you and to let you know how you might want to get an affiliate started in your area. And lastly, I'll just say that, we communicate with our members primarily through we send you information about BCLA. We use the listserv. We communicate through email, but we use the listserv. So I'll sometimes run into members and I'll always ask, now, are you getting the postings from the listserv? If they say no, then that means that's a channel that's been cut off. So if you are a current member and you are no longer, for whatever reason, you might have changed your email, changed institutions, and you're no longer getting those postings from BCLA. Again, that email that I've been promoting here is just info@bcala.org. I mean, you could email the website master, but that info@bcala.org is really good because what happens when all the emails that come there, wherever they need to go, then they're routed to if there's someone more appropriate for that. So that's all I have for membership at this point. It's been a good year. We would like to close out the year. We did have a goal of 1,000 members. We're at 928, so we still have some time to close out 2021 and to go into 2022 with 1,000 members. So there's still time for you to get the word out to others, or maybe sponsor a couple of people. All of this would be great things. So we've had a great year. Thanks to all of you, and continue to have a great conference, this conference, and remember to visit the exhibit booths. So, Madam Vice President, that is the end of my report.
That was amazing, Rudy. If everyone can give him a round of applause, I see people are doing that already. He is doing a phenomenal job, along with Andrew Sekou Jackson and S. Michelle Eccles. We appreciate them. And it takes all of us to make a vibrant caucus. So reach out to your friends and colleagues, ask them to join the caucus. Reactivate your affiliate network if that's what you need to do. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the Indiana Black Librarians Network, which will be celebrating 20 years this year. And so
right.
I am immediate past president of that organization. So we're very excited about the work that they're doing. And if you all have listened to the news or read newspapers lately, you know some of the excitement we're having in librarianship in the state of Indiana. So there's no time like the present for us to band together. And
You
I will
know
hand
what,
it back.
Michelle? I have to shout out New York Black Librarians Caucus. I was a past president, so if we're going to shout out affiliates, I got to give a shout out to New York. So there we go. Thank you.
And last year they
NYBLP.
celebrated 50
Yes,
years, which
they
was
did.
amazing. Amazing
Woo-hoo.
gala, all
Yes.
virtual.
But we love all our affiliates, but it was a great, great gala.
All right, thank you so much. I am so happy that I am able to talk to you all. I apologize for the technical excitement that occurred earlier this evening. Thank you all for joining the membership meeting. And I'm going to pose some questions to you all, and I hope that you all engage, particularly Shantae, Nichelle, and Rudolph. Your job is not done yet. And so the first question that I'm going to pose to you all is, what do you want BCLA to focus on for the next 50 years? So the first part of this conference was, the theme is Sankofa, looking back at the past and using that to ignite the future. So, we have spent, technically 51 years. BCLA has been around. So what do you want the next 50 years to look like? If you could envision a BCLA NCAAL conference 50 years from now, what do you think a hope that we would accomplish by then?
We take over all the libraries. That's what we hope. I mean, we just want to see more of us in leadership positions. We want to make sure that when we go to libraries and they show board of trustees, it looks more like us and not these older Caucasian male figures that we see hanging in a lot of our libraries. 50 years from now, leadership and librarianship should look like us, be more of us. So the whole conversation of recruiting and keeping Black and brown people in the profession, I will hope that that discussion is null and void 50 years later.
Yes, no, that is great. And I totally agree with you. I've fortunately, I've been a part of a lot of conversations about retention. A lot of people have a tendency to put recruitment and retention together and not understanding that, what is the point of recruiting people into profession when we have a high attrition rate and people are leaving? And they're not only leaving, they're leaving traumatized too.
You're absolutely correct, because I forget the exact numbers that Tracy Hall shared, but we have been recruiting. They just don't stay. And so that is why it's really important that we get our history being part of the MSLIS curriculum. And so that is really a strong, strong focus. And when we're talking about a strategic plan, we want to make sure that our archives, and we want to start with the E.J. Josie papers, that we have those archived and we have curriculum created so that when people are going to library schools, they see what we brought into the profession. We all take these foundations to library courses, but we don't learn about E.J. Josie. I didn't learn about E.J. Josie till after I left library school, and I didn't learn about him until I became a member of BCALA, and that's not okay. I learned about Effie Lee Morris just recently. Thank you to Nichelle M. Hayes. I learned about so many people before I was doing this library tour, because when I'm going to speak to library school students, I want them to know the history, the rich history that we brought to this profession, because it's not being taught. And so that is really, really important and part of the strategic plan that we want to have moving forward.
Thank you, Shantae.
Yeah, and I think it's just so important what the president has just mentioned. When she's visiting these library schools, to establish a relationship, especially with the directors of all of the MLS programs, especially for placement. I mean, we want them to know if it's, and I don't mean necessarily 50 years from now on, from what President Chante Burns Simpson is doing, that when they think of placement, that they think of BCALA. That they think of, we want to partner. This is a group that's doing things that are really interested in their members. And also, it's really hard a lot of times for students that are just graduating to get a position. And so that they can think of BCLA and what we're doing, and that way that we're assisting our members to be placed. So really, and when the president talks to these students, when they email me, I mean, they're just so gung ho about joining this organization. They say, we just had this wonderful talk. I'd never heard of BCLA before, but, I just want to join. I want to be a part of this, and I've gone to the website. So to these inroads, and I'm not saying that there hadn't been any communication with them, but there's an excitement that has taken place with the president visiting these schools, and we just want to keep that going, and that these schools would look to us as an institution, as a partner.
Thank you, Rudolph. Anything to add, Nichelle? All right. Some people say reviving LIS at HBCUs, perhaps virtually establish an HQ, work strongly towards building our membership from top to bottom, building membership and resources, being community driven. The history committee, there is a history committee. So if you're excited and you're a part of BCLA, join. We're not looking we're looking at the history of different states, territories. Who were the first Black librarians or library workers at particular institution? What is their legacy? What is their history? And so the history committee is working towards a timeline of the history of Black librarianship. And
Rhonda Evans, who is a co-chair of the history committee, she's saying, yes, you join. But I'm glad that you also talked about the resources, because we are building more resources. And I want to give a quick shout out to the school librarians committee, the public librarians committees. We are creating a lot of book lists, and that's what we'll be celebrating this evening, because we are building resources, and the resources page is the most popular page on bcala.org. I want to thank Zakia for giving us these monthly numbers. People from all over the world come to bcla.org to see our resources. And so I really want to give kudos to the school librarians and the public librarians that are doing these book lists. I also want to talk about the collaboration that we are doing with the Graphic Novels and Comics Roundtable, because again, people do want to come to us because we are the experts. We know our literature, whether it is a graphic novel, a great children's book, and we just need to hone in on our expertise from our members.
Yes, that is so key and important. I mean, someone mentioned cultural relevant pedagogy, as well as needing more librarians from across the nation and beyond to be members of BCLA. So you don't have to be on a mainland in the US, essentially, to be a part of BCLA. We do want to connect with people across the African diaspora and elsewhere too. So please join if you are interested, so that we can have greater participation and collaboration.
And we have the international committee. So I do want to give a shout out to Vivian Bordeaux, Ebony Henry, Fayreen Muhammad. There's so many people. It's so much.
Valerie Carter.
Yes, Valerie Carter. Thank you. I'm sorry if I left anybody out, because there's so many great committees, and we have so many members. We want you all to be part of a committee. That we want to drive this work. We want to make sure that we are benefiting all of our members. If they have an interest, that they will be able to find something within the caucus to support that.
Yes. Someone has said that they would love to see an affiliate in every U.S. state, and I will add territory, unincorporated and incorporated territory as well. I think that is key and important. And so we're looking forward to people building that out. And because you have the opportunity to build that, if there's not an affiliate, you get to know really amazing people across your state. And you'll be able to build that community and that solidarity, which is so desperately needed.
So in the chat, one of our new board members, Tiffany N. Carter from Columbus Metropolitan Public Library indicates our institutions need to support us doing the work. Something to talk about. I think you're right. But I think for them to support us, we have to talk about why we're important. And you have to share with your leadership opportunities like this, the conference, the people that we're learning about, the networking. Take this back to your institutions and share that with them. I spoke with my CEO this morning. She indicated that she had signed up for today's, or rather our week's conference. And so I'm going to have a talk with her about the things that she learned and the things that I learned. So we have to show them why we're important, but that is amazing. We definitely have to do that. And definitely mentoring is important. Also, something I wanted to touch on real quick. Rudy, do you want to talk to them about our membership platform? Because we've used a new one, so we've segued from the old one, and we have a different interface. Did you want to talk about that at all?
I am glad you mentioned that, and I had put that down. I forgot to talk about it. Yes, most of you know if you've renewed, if you've joined or renewed in the last year or in 2020, then you've used our new membership site. It's called Your Membership, and it's just abbreviated YM. So it's YMBCALA, and it really has brought us into the 21st century, because the system we had before was really old, and it was not really built for an organization our size. So with this new system, the people that have joined, obviously, it's very easy onboarding. Once they have the URL, they can just go there, they can join. But one of the things that it's useful, one of the reasons that we chose this system, it will allow us to do a lot more networking. It will allow greater communication. So it has a capability of, say, committee members within the YM platform, that they can communicate with each other and do things, hold meetings, send emails just within their group. It also is an easier place to allow our members to interact with the committees. If you want to send an email to someone else in the committee, there are possibilities for an online store. So there are just lots of other things that we aren't using at this point. But the easiest thing has been that the onboarding, that you can go in, given the URL, and you can just go to our to get there to bcala.org and click on membership, and it takes you right there to YM. So if some of you have forgotten, we use the same passwords and usernames that you had in your old system, and some of you had forgotten those. That's fine. You can just log in with your email, and then you would get a chance to change your username and password. Or again, if any of that became problematic, you can always just email me at info@bcala.org, and it'll get to membership, and we can straighten it out. But the people who have joined recently thought it was a fairly easy process. And one of the goals for the new year is to utilize more of the functions that are available in YM. Again, this greater communication. We also want it to be able to be so that members can find other members that have similar interests. And that's something, a part of it that we haven't implemented, that we will, that you could go in and say, oh, I'm interested in digital initiatives, whatever you're interested in. And then other people, if they're looking to find someone with skills in that area, just they have a question, that they would be able to search and find you and then email you and ask their question. And this is really important as we start bringing more and more support staff in. We're bringing them in. We want to do more mentoring, but YM will then help with the resources. Once we are doing more mentoring, that we have more resources, and it's easy to get to those resources. So I encourage all of you to go in. Some of you, because by now we've almost had it a year, and so our membership is a year. So you'll be getting an email from YM asking you to renew. And one of the goals that I had last time was for every member just to go in at least to YM and look around, and you can add as much information about yourself as you want. Many of you went in, we had a goal of everyone adding their picture, and that has happened. A number of you did go in and put a photo in. But there are other things you could just put in, other things that you're interested in. So try it out. You don't have to remember the the URL right now. Just remember bcala.org, click on membership, and it'll take you right to YM, your membership.
Rudy, we have a question in the chat. Is there a way to get email notifications in the YM system?
Yes, you can actually send email from YM. I'm not sure of the question. You can, if you are in YM, you can send email within it, because many times people, they'll have some question. They were in YM and they had a question, and they would send me an email, and it was through YM. It does have that capability that you can also email other members within it. I'm not sure if I'm answered that question, but if not, just email me at info@bcla.org, and I can talk with you more about that.
Thank you so much, Rudolph. We are about to wrap up in a few minutes because the next thing after this is the Youth Literary Award ceremony. But a few things that I just kind of want to mention and kind of wrap up. Tiffany Carter said, I would like to see us spotlight each other regularly as well to show the few we exist and we are strong, and that has to do not only with attending NCAAL and being engaged in BCLA, but it is also being involved in your institution. Is also being involved on social media if that is a place that you like to engage in. It is also supporting other folks outside. Even if you're an academic librarianship, you can support public librarians, school librarians, special librarians as well. We have to support each other, and there's such familiarity and also differences and challenges across each of the different areas and specializations. And so we have to understand the struggles that each other is going and being able to help each other, through that. Because if you want to get to a place where we have an HQ, where we have revived, LAS programs and HBCU, that our history, that Black history, our history is part of world history. Black librarianship is a part of librarianship, overall, and getting people to understand that, means that like at times we have to speak up when no one else is speaking up. Even when we've been silenced, even when there's oppressions and there's suppression, like we have to make sure that we are there representing ourselves. And understanding that like we are not alone, even though you're the single person in that room, does not mean that you are alone. We got you. Okay. We understand, we acknowledge you. We are so here for you, and so we have to be there for one another through all of this. And part of this is, joining BCLA so that we can change and further transform, and so that we can continue to carry that torch, so that we can continue to ignite the future. And so with that, if there are no more questions, I will let people transition to the Youth Literary Award ceremony. And so if you go back out and then you click on the next link, you will be able to click and go in, and so you can learn about amazing contributions that people are making within the realm of youth literature, which is so key and is so important because, as you know, the youth is our future. And we want to make sure that we have a lot of brilliant folks who is educated and highlighting Black excellence. So with that, thank you all so very much. And I will also put in a plug that the virtual photo book is open until 9 p.m. tonight. So feel free to go and get your commemorate NCAAL photo, and feel free to share that out. But I will see you in the next session.